got the Quest 3 set up with racing simulators using the link cable, and I have to say, it's absolutely incredible. The clarity that you get from the Quest 3 screens and the glory of pancake lenses is really something to behold. Just go and get any VR headset, but you know, get a Quest 3, get a link cable, and try this. And if you can't have fun with this, you must already be a corpse, because this is incredible. Forget triple screen, forget projector screens. This is like having multiple DD girls dancing on you with the servo motors in your bed all night long. So, the Quest 3, the biggest thing here, obviously screen resolution, but the pancake lenses are the same. The clarity that you have left to right, I'm not sure how clear this comes across in the video. I've tried to set up the Oculus mirror so it looks nice and smooth and everything. I've tried my best. The worst thing with VR is you can't see what it's like unless you actually use it. But the clarity with the pancake lenses means I can look straight ahead, look left, look right, and it's all sharp and clear. You don't have to get the headset perfectly in place. Even with the screen really quite far off, it's actually mostly still sharp. So you don't have to get the IPD perfect. You don't have to get the position perfect. It genuinely, for someone like me that really hates small sweet zone, this is game changing for racing simulators. Weirdly, when you do move the headset with the pancake lenses, you actually just get darker. It gets more darker than it does blurry. It gets a little bit blurry, but you sort of, the edges of the screen look a bit darker. But let's drive, guys. Oh my god. Too much VR excitement. I don't really matter what set. Who cares? We're in an F2004 car. You can see the cockpit, the wheel, the text. Everything is so sharp. The little fake stampy stuff on the FIA sticker. Oh my goodness. This is home VR. It's really like just having the absolute future on your face. Unfortunately, Kudos AI is not in the future. Come on, Kudos. What are they doing? Bloody hell. I have been trying this in AMS2 and AC. I have to say, AMS2 AI is a lot better than AC1 AI. So if you're doing offline racing in VR, give AMS2 a go. That will absolutely blow your top off. But geez, it's so good. So for those of you that don't know, I was one of the first channels to actually cover sim racing in VR with the original DK1 and the DK2. We've had the Quest 1, Quest 2, CV1, HTC Vive, Valve Index, Pimax. I like every time the new VR headset comes out that I feel has the potential to substantially move things forwards, I have to get it. It's like a weird disorder. I have to get it and see what it's like. And I can confirm the Quest 3 does really move things forwards, and I think specifically as well for driving simulators and raw comfort. It's not completely perfect. There are some quirks with like performance with the link cable, setting it up. It's not plug and play, especially if you want to get it to look good, and I still haven't got everything fully dialed in myself, so you know, keep that in mind. It's a bit of a fiddle, especially if you're trying to get the most quality out of it. And I will say, you know, like the sound on the Quest 3 is not the best, and you have to use other headphones if you want, you know. It's not a perfect device, so let's not get too carried away. But all told, in totality, I actually, after fiddling around with the Quest 3 for a bit, I think it has actually replaced, for me, the Valve Index as the best overall VR headset. And the price, especially if you're using it with a PC, you're going to get the non-high, you know, the 128 gig version or something. The price is actually pretty damn amazing for what you get. Now, interestingly, just last week, actually, before doing this and setting this up with these sims, I was using a Vario Aero, which is quite a high-resolution screen, eye tracking, does all the RPD for you and everything. And this just absolutely destroys that in terms of maybe not in terms of raw resolution, though I think it might even beat it on resolution. It certainly looks, to me, this looks crisper and more clear. But just like immersion, for some reason I found the Valve Index for me is very immersive. I get a really good sense of presence. I don't feel like I'm looking at a VR screen. Whereas the Vario Aero, the Quest 2, the Rift S, the Pimax, there's something about those headsets that makes me feel a bit like, or more often, that I'm looking at a screen that's got 3D and head tracking. For whatever reason, I think it might just be the lenses on this, because I noticed this a bit with the Meta Pro headset, which has pancake lenses as well. Maybe it's the field of view as well. This has quite a wide field of view, pretty similar to the Valve Index, I think. Vertical field of view might be less on this than the Valve Index, but very similar field of view. Maybe it's stereo separation. I don't know. There's billions of things that go into making a VR headset immersive, but for whatever it is, whatever reason, this really just gets me so immersed and just everything feels so solid. Also, the scale of stuff just looks absolutely spot on as well, which is a problem I've noticed with other Oculus or Rift or Facebook, whatever company it is anymore. With their other headsets, I've often had issues with things feeling a bit the world scale being wrong, which I know you can adjust with some software and some games, so it's not always a problem. But you know what I mean? There's something felt a bit off with it. Whereas this Quest 3, it's just... It's so good. It's so spot on. It's like if they just put the Valve Index head strap on this and the Valve Index speakers, maybe also didn't have the link cable, which obviously your computer then has to encode a video to send it to the headset, which then has to be fiddled, resolution, bitrate. You know, if you could just have a HDMI cable into this, bloody hell, perfect, absolute perfect headset. Also, maybe the facial interface, if you could just take that off and use it like glasses, which you can do if you take the interface off and you've got a different head strap. I think we're pretty much there, you know. It's weird. It's like all the components are actually there with this Meta Quest 3. Comfort, quality, and yet they've missed out on like having a good head strap out of the box, having the HDMI cable. You know, it's bizarre, but for the price, it'd be hard to complain. Look at this, guys. It's such a shame that you can't really experience what it's like to do VR in 2D, but with Formula cars like this in VR, on a monitor, these cars are still great fun to drive, but when you can sit in the cockpit, admittedly I'm sat a bit too high here because I'm not in a reclined Formula seat, so I'm like Andre the Giant in a Formula car, but in VR, being able to see the wheels exactly where they're placed and then being able to hit those corners perfectly, which is sort of it allows you to really get the absolute most out of this vehicle and really focus on absolute millimetre precision through corners and really like move the car so subtly through the corners, and it makes sense in VR. Even with a triple screen, even with an ultra wide, it's just not vaguely close to the experience that you get in VR. Like this is absolutely the closest you can get to doing this, to driving this car in real life, unless you do Boss GP and you're really rich. Maybe if you have like a huge projector set up with a Formula cockpit in front of it, but even then, I have used some of them and they still, because you're in a room and, you know, the VR blocks off the room and, you know, you're in the car. You're in the car. Absolutely phenomenal. Anyone that's just come into VR now and they're like, oh, I'll get a Quest 3, see what VR's like. Bloody hell. The change from the DK1, where I remember first time playing it, I think we hacked Vorpex into R-Factor 2 and LFM, not LFM, Live for Speed did really early VR support, but even with like over super sampling, sharpening and all these like tricks and stuff, you'd be like 20 metres away from the break point and you could barely see where the turning point was or anything. Whereas now, you can like, and this isn't with things set up perfectly, you can see like the brake markers right into the distance, the DRS boards there. You know, it's absolutely remarkable. It's the future. It is literally future. It's flying cars on you. You know, it is the flying car. It's the 90s future dream, and it's actually being realised. I mean, it is a shame that we're going to have World War III with AI killing everyone, but at least we'll get to enjoy VR for a little bit first. Oh dear. So a lot of people go, well, what if you love VR so much, Gamer Muscle, you bold git, why don't you use it more? Well, it's not good for you guys watching in 2D, is it? And I think that's still the case with this video. Sadly, I have to do screens for live streaming. But I just think if you're driving for yourself and you're not producing content, obviously a lot of really hot women like to look at my face. That's at least 90% of my viewership, and donations and super chats are from like hot women, so I have to show my face, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do this as my job. But if you're not doing that, no excuse get into VR. He's cooked it there. Oh my goodness. The way you can just look into the apex, nice and smooth. The head tracking is phenomenal on this as well. I think the algorithms that Oculus have used have improved over time for the precision of the head tracking, in that you don't get that. In the past, when you played driving sims with some older VR headsets, you'd sit totally still and the headset would like move around a little bit in a weird way. That doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. I don't know. This is some kind of filtering or more precision. Yeah, oh my goodness, absolutely phenomenal. And the pancake lenses, I think, surprisingly, whoa, getting a bit loose there. AC Curbing, Merry Christmas. They don't seem to be pushed by Meta, or really the qualities of this headset are not really pushed as a marketing point. Like, that large sweet spot to me is a huge thing. But I don't know, maybe Metro are trying to sell to casuals to play Beat Saber or other like absolutely terrible VR games. They're not trying to sell VR headsets for people to play the pinnacle of video games, known as racing simulators and Assetto Corsa. But it's the sad world we live in. So, needless to say, I am very impressed with this Quest 3. I still need to dial a lot of the settings in. I do want to do like a more in-depth video where we talk about the individual components and aspects of it that are better and worse in more detail. But as a first impressions, after spending 5 hours trying to dial things in, I will say absolutely really bloody impressive. This is the most impressive VR headset that I've used with racing sims since the Valve Index, and I've had the chance to use some like Vario headsets and other stuff, Pimaxes and things. It's just the comfort. It's the comfort, guys. The comfort is the main thing for me, and this is a very comfortable headset. Just, we've obviously put a modded head strap on, but it's like a 30 quid one. I'll put links in the description, guys. We've got Amazon links if you want to waste money on technology instead of going outside and walking and enjoying free things. Check out our links. Oh, this is why VR is terrible. Oh dear, that's why it's terrible. If you're trying to make a video, let's go cam only. I've got a link. I'll put a link to the Valve Index, to the Quest 3. The cable we're using is one that also has a charging cable going into it as well. So you've got one cable that's also charging and doing videos, so the battery lasts on this. It stays fully charged. And there's also a bunch of stuff to be aware of in terms of link cable settings that are pertinent to SimRacing, but I'll do another video on that. But Quest 3, guys, with driving sims, so far with AC and AMS2, you have to give it a go. You have to give it a go. You owe it to yourself to give it a go. Borrow one if you need to. But yeah, there you go. That's this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Click like, subscribe. Well, I'll see you in another one that we do. I do lots of it. We just do videos, or that's it. Videos and live streams. Take care. Happy tea drinking. Goodbye, guys.